Right now at 10, a witness report is now the centerpiece of a Trempealeau County homicide case.
And children of active duty military broaden their minds and horizons at STEM camp.
Plus, La Crosse area residents show their support for those battling Alzheimer's.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Ken Kozorowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. We have some severe storms making our way this evening, so we're going to send it right over to Greg Barnhart for the latest on that. Greg.
Yeah, we've had that break that we kind of expected here through 10, but there is a lot of action out to the west, and it involves a lot more flooding with some very heavy thunderstorms producing that rainfall that's coming through. Right now, that's the rainfall that we received already for today. Here and here, about 1 to 1.5 in some areas further west, a little bit more. But the flood watch is out for that. You can notice the red to the west. That is flash flood warnings out just west of Rochester for the training of storms. And those storms are beginning to approach the area here in the next hour. So as you wake up, the storms actually will be kind of tapering off, I think, a little bit in the morning for La Crosse, although they still could continue all day. Otherwise, Eau Claire also may see a temporary break in the morning, but thunderstorms pretty much with more or less as you go in the afternoon, excuse me. Overall, there's all your red boxes. Those are the flash flood warnings. That is the complex that's beginning to approach, producing quite a bit of rain, 1 to 3 inches with that line as it begins to approach, and that's what we're tracking overall throughout the night. It will begin to approach here as we get there. There we go. Future track comes through by about 11 or 12. We'll start seeing it approach La Crosse, and then it kind of gets a little bit of a surge to the southeast, which could provide some gusty, strong, maybe even damaging winds as it comes through about 3 to 4. But that whole complex will make really the early morning hours very wet and potentially for some flash flooding in areas. So we'll kind of track out the next round. We might have another in the afternoon before we actually eventually dry out finally for Sunday.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Well, an arrest report offers new details into a Clark County sergeant's arrest for alleged child sex crimes. The 4-page redacted report says Taylor County started an investigation into Clark County Sergeant Jeremy Chapman back in January. A child reported being blackmailed into sending nude photos of herself on Snapchat. She said the blackmailer told her they threatened to rape her like they had raped another high school girl in a locker room. Investigators eventually traced that Snapchat account to Chapman. Police booked Chapman on charges of child sexual exploitation and child enticement. Formal charges have not been filed in court.
New details have been released in the Trempealeau County car crash turned homicide investigation. According to the criminal complaint, 36-year-old Kyle Dahl of Ettrick was killed in what appeared to be a car crash on May 15th. An autopsy later revealed he was shot. Surveillance footage showed a red sedan following Dahl's car. A witness told authorities Todd Geek was driving the red sedan and that he was high-amped and fast-paced. The witness also said he heard Geek fire his handgun and then the sound of glass breaking. They saw Dahl's car drive off the road and Geek drove his car in the other direction. Geek is currently at the Trempealeau County Jail. He's facing multiple charges, including first-degree reckless homicide. According to online court records, Judge Radke intends to recuse himself from the case as Dahl worked closely with the county court system. Geek's case is now on hold until a new judge is assigned.
Rice Lake police believe they have found the remains of a woman who was missing since May 13th. According to Rice Lake PD, video footage on that day shows Melissa Davis entering a commercial dumpster. No one was with her at the time, and she is not seen exiting the dumpster. That dumpster was taken to an incinerator for disposal the next day. Police say suspected human remains similar to Davis's physical appearance and clothing were seen in the building. All of the contents were eventually processed through the incinerator. Rice Lake police are continuing this investigation.
A police chase in Milwaukee Wednesday led to the shooting of 2 teen carjacking suspects and the death of one of the suspects' unborn baby. The chase started when Milwaukee police tried to pull over the car that was wanted in connection to an armed carjacking and another attempted carjacking a block away. The car fled, but police were able to catch up with it in a construction zone. The driver ignored commands to stop and reversed into a squad car. An officer then fired into the car and hit 2 people. An unborn child did not survive. Police say they found 1 gun in the car. No officers were hurt. The officer who fired their weapon was placed on administrative leave per department policy.
The Chippewa County man accused of selling drugs that led to an overdose death is competent to stand trial. 43-year-old Casey Schuneman faces several charges, including first-degree reckless homicide as a party to a crime. Now, according to the criminal complaint, on March 11th, Schuneman allegedly sold a victim meth, and about a half hour later, deputies found the victim unresponsive in a ditch. The judge ordered a competency hearing and in court today found probable cause for Schuneman to continue trial. He's held on a $50,000 cash bond, and if convicted, he faces a maximum of 72 years in jail.
Some kids in Sparta have spent the past week on a system safari. The Sparta Area School District hosted STEM Camp, a camp just for the kids of active duty military members. 125 campers spent the past week learning all about the systems of the body. The theme of STEM Camp changes every year, and one organizer says the goal is to produce participants to as many science, tech, engineering, and mathematics fields as possible.
The other great thing about STEM Camp is it provides kids opportunities to learn about different careers. So within the content that they're learning, they're always learning about careers that are relevant to that field. So we're hoping to get more kids interested in those STEM careers, boys and girls, and exploring lots of different opportunities.
One of the highlights of this week was the chance to hold a human brain.
La Crosse area residents sported their purple shirts to support those battling Alzheimer's. Tonight, the End Alls Fest Foundation hosted their biggest annual fundraiser. The third annual End Alls Fest is aimed at providing awareness and support to those with Alzheimer's and dementia, while also raising money for the Alzheimer's Foundation. A co-president of the organization says the event shows people they're not alone in their fight.
And I'm just brought to tears because the community is wrapping themselves around this once stigmatized disease where people fought in silence. For me, this is why I got involved.
She says every year the foundation develops a new way to lend a hand to those with Alzheimer's. This year they're starting the Caregiver Wish Grant, in which once a quarter they pick a local caregiver and provide them with resources to make caring for their loved ones a little bit easier. Western Technical College is showing aspiring nurses how poverty affects the healthcare system.
News 8 Now's Jeremy Wall has this story. Jeremy.
Kat and Emily, Western's nursing program hosted a poverty simulation today where students pretend to be in families who live below the poverty line. The simulations teach them more about community health and putting them in the shoes of those struggling to make ends meet.
The students are in a family.
And each family has a unique set of circumstances. The issues might differ, but they all live at or below the poverty line.
We want them to be cognizant of the unique challenges that may occur when you're dealing with someone who has poverty issues, who maybe non-compliance with a medication isn't because they're just non-compliant. Maybe it's, I can't afford the medication.
Megan Clay is a nursing student. Simulations like this one will help her understand patients living with unique circumstances.
I think this exercise kind of just puts us in their shoes and try to think like them, and just makes us more understanding nurses.
During the simulation, Clay portrayed a student who brought a weapon into the classroom. She says exercises like these are eye-opening.
It's good for me to know what could happen in someone else's life, to be more considerate or empathetic.
They're teaching students like Clay that poverty can impact anyone.
Sometimes when you see a patient, they may not look like they're in poverty, but there may be issues that they're experiencing or things that you're seeing that are directly impacted by the ability of them to be able to maybe even buy food for their family.
Now, this is the third year Western Tech hosted the poverty simulation. According to Schrant, roughly 5,000 families live at or below the poverty line in La Crosse. Ken and Emily.
All right, thank you, Jeremy. A grocery store shooting leaves 3 dead in Arkansas.
Authorities within the hour have named the suspect and the charges he faces.
Ram is built to serve, and you'll find the Ram you're looking for at Pischke Motors in West Salem or Pischke Motors La Crosse.
Make this the summer with a Ram 1500. Stop into Pischke Motors now during our last call to see our great selection. These 2024 Ram 1500s are on clearance. Great prices. Get them before they're gone. With unparalleled durability, towing, hauling, Ram's 1500 has you covered. Hurry in. This offer ends June 30th.
Start your search at Pischke.com and then drive away in your new Ram.
The heat is on.
And so is Carl's Salute to Savings sale.
Save up to 45% on major appliances.
Get up to $1,000 back with Carl's exclusive rebates. Get this 28 cubic foot refrigerator for only $14.99. See the all-new washer, dryer, combi models.
All TVs are on sale.
Shop our Serta iComfort Eco mattresses.
And our great selection of name brand grills.
Carl's Salute to Savings sale.
Carl's is a servicing dealer since 1956.
11 people were shot and 3 of them died when a suspect opened fire at a grocery store in Arkansas, south of Little Rock.
2 law enforcement officers were also injured, as was the gunman. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette reports.
We're at Mad Butcher in Fordyce, and there's a shooting going on.
Ambulances transported victims and police officers tended to others after a mass shooting Friday morning at the Mad Butcher grocery store in Fordyce, Arkansas.
I just seen everybody ducking, and I just seen shots coming through the window.
Adriana Doherty took shelter in a freezer along with her mother and brother. Some saw the shooting from outside the store.
I'm kind of shaken up. It was something like you'd see on TV. It was definitely shots fired continuously.
Police say the gunman was also shot and taken into custody. They identified him as 44-year-old Travis Posey and say he'll be charged with 3 counts of capital murder. Outside the store, an upside-down grocery cart and evidence markers are signs of the chaos that unfolded.
The remaining civilian injuries range from non-life-threatening to extremely critical.
The community is grieving and mourning an act of violence so foreign to those who shop at the only grocery store in town. Nearby resident Philip Todd spoke to a reporter from the Little Rock CBS affiliate.
I probably knew most of the people.
Small town.
Small town, yeah.
Have you seen anything like this before?
Never. This doesn't happen here.
A crowd gathered outside a local medical facility as friends and family waited for information about the victims. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Now, the 2 police officers are expected to recover, as is the suspect.
Well, the Supreme Court issued a major ruling today involving the Second Amendment.
In an 8-1 ruling, the justices upheld a federal law that prohibits people under domestic violence restraining orders from having firearms. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the majority opinion saying, quote, "The law uses common sense and applies only after a judge determines that an individual poses a credible threat of physical violence," end quote.
Now, the court ruling against the challenge brought by 23-year-old Zaki Rahimi of Texas, who you just saw, was indicted for possessing a firearm while having a restraining order against him. Now, this case stemmed from the High Court's decision 2 years ago, which expanded gun rights, saying history and tradition should determine whether laws regulating firearms are constitutional.
History has a role to play in constitutional analysis. It has to be calibrated, against the issues of present day.
Legal experts expect today's opinion will provide more clarity for lower courts as they decide other Second Amendment cases. Justice Clarence Thomas was the lone dissenter in today's ruling.
Well, Muscle Machines return to Monroe County.
Tens of thousands are in Toma for the annual truck and tractor pull.
We got alert conditions going through tomorrow. We got flooding tonight, but we can't rule out the damaging wind threat going into Saturday afternoon, too. So we'll time out the storms, show you how much rain we might get and what those rivers will look like going into next week. All that coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
What kind of a loan officer do you think you deserve? I know that's a very tough question to answer. Here's what I think. I think you deserve a loan officer that is willing to look you in the eye before you take on a lot of debt and say, "Are you sure?" If that's what you're looking for in a lender, call Firefighters Credit Union today.
Everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
Have you ever had to move? It's brutal. Why do we have so much stuff? Well, at Chrysler Winona, we're moving, and we're trying to pack light by throwing out some great deals. A lightly used 23 Grand Cherokee L with 3rd row, heated seats, and remote start is just $38,990. Or pre-owned Chrysler Pacifica with heated leather and seating for 7 starting at just $23,990. So come see us before we move at Chrysler Winona, downtown Winona.
Now's the time to enjoy huge savings on outdoor furniture from Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. From patio dining sets to sofas and chairs, they're all reduced to clearance prices. At Drury's, we have an eco-friendly mindset that's reflected in everything we sell. Environmentally friendly materials are important to us. And you'll be choosing from Homecrest and other quality brands, furniture that's designed to last. The Outdoor Clearance Event. It's happening now at Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota. Voted your favorite furniture store.
I always knew that I wanted to be a mom, and choosing that it was the right time was just a really exciting moment. It turned out that my baby had a diagnosis that would be incompatible with life. It wasn't just that my baby wasn't going to survive, but I was at risk for hemorrhaging when I delivered. I met with my doctor and we went over the risks and benefits. I made a really informed decision, just like you would for any other procedure you're going to have. I'm a nurse and I'm an example of a woman who had to have a procedure to be able to save my life and to not watch my baby die. And now Donald Trump supports laws that could take that procedure away across this country.
54 years they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it.
Without that procedure, I would not have been able to get pregnant again. But the good news is, a year later, I had my son. If Trump gets elected again, I fear for women.
ABPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Tractor enthusiasts from all around the nation traveled to Toma this week for the annual Budweiser Dairyland Super National Truck and Tractor Pull.
Oh yeah, it's been a yearly competition ever since it was started by the Monroe County Agriculture Society in 1976. They started out small, but the event has now become one of the largest tractor pulls in the nation, drawing an estimated 60,000 fans every year.
Ken Vinnies has been competing in tractor pulls for decades, and to him, age is just a number.
I don't want to be like most 84-year-old people and sit around a nursing home. I'd rather put forth a little effort and feel like whether I do good or bad, I come out and I be competitive, and I feel like I've accomplished something.
The event brings an estimated $15 million to community businesses every year, and it will continue through tomorrow. I have never seen such thing, never heard of one, never been to one, but you did say it's a very loud event.
Very loud, yes. So bring the earplugs, but it is pretty cool to see that amount of power in action, just to pull those sleds. It is something to watch for sure. Well, we are watching some flooding conditions, the potential for which into the overnight hours. Greg's got the latest.
Yeah, definitely out west. They've seen it already, Mankato to Rochester, that area, basically along the border of Iowa and Minnesota right now with the flood threat. But really, tonight's flash flood is probably going to be a bigger concern, but we also got the rivers going in once all the water does get into the systems. The smaller rivers first, and then obviously as we go to next week, more of the Mississippi is going to respond. But rounds of storms through Saturday. There will be breaks, I think, especially later tomorrow morning through early afternoon. There'll be a break at some areas and then another round too. Severe storms, I think, it's going to be more southwest Wisconsin, northeast Iowa, and that comes potentially tomorrow morning with some wind threat, but also tomorrow afternoon with redevelopment where that actually occurs. Cooler but drier. That's the good news for Sunday. We're not going to see much. Here's all the precipitation on the west. This big, huge complex here is really slowing down, but all those red boxes are flash flood warnings right now, and they continue to be expanded across the area. Rochester already had quite a bit of rain, so I'll expect them to be included this eventually. That's the activity that we're watching basically approach the area. Eventually, I think by about midnight, you'll start seeing some activity along across the main area. Will probably approach the area. You can see southwest Wisconsin, Decorah, Viroqua's having that activity approach too overnight. But then this huge complex starts coming overhead basically around after midnight, and then here's this line that starts somewhat forming, which could be that wind threat coming in early morning hours for far southwest, like Prairie du Chien area. Otherwise, everyone else is really going to see light, moderate to even heavy rainfall with thunderstorms continuing over the same area. This will continue probably through about 7 or 8 a.m. for most areas, especially as you go further south of I-90, and it could continue too as you see more action throughout the morning. But there is a little bit of a trend of decreasing with the thunderstorm coverage as we go through the late morning, especially further north you go. It won't be that bad overall for Saturday late morning and early afternoon. Once this continues south of I-90, we're going to have to watch with the main front coming through redevelopment. This could be the severe threat for southwest Wisconsin, south of basically I-90 and northeast Iowa. Mainly a wind threat as it comes through, but also with the additional rainfall, we could see flash flooding. And then the good news is once we get around 8 to 9 tomorrow, the activity really becomes scattered or isolated with a few showers lingering through about midnight, and then the rest of the night should be quiet. Rainfall amounts, pretty substantial rainfall amounts if this does pan out. 3 to 5, maybe plus up to 6 inches along and south of I-90. That seems to be the trend for right now. Less as you go further north, still some good rain amounts up to an inch, inch and a half, but the threat really is along I-90 and further south for that flash flooding. And of course the rivers eventually will respond with that. Right now there's your things, flash flood warnings, all this. The rivers, we're starting to get warnings out for the Mississippi because they're going to go in minor flood stage. It will take a while to respond. Further west, they already got flood warnings for Zumwalt River out to the west there. And then, of course, the Black River has watches right now because that will start rising here probably Sunday, late Sunday, maybe into early Monday, and that continues there. Further south, there's our flood watch for the Mississippi for La Crosse. You'll see minor by probably Sunday, potentially then moderate. And then as we go further south, we can't forget the Kickapoo River. That's another one that does like to flood quite a bit. That also has a flood watch out. So that'll starting pretty much through Sunday into Monday. There's your river levels right now. You can see it's all going to get into the moderate stage as we go towards next week. So something to keep in mind of. Otherwise, quiet conditions as we go on Sunday and to Monday. That's the good news. We have another system Monday into Tuesday, nothing like the one that we're having right now. Good news is Wednesday and Thursday we do see drier conditions with potential more rainfall coming towards next week. So an active pattern, but for the next 24 hours, it's the flood threat really that we're going to keep an eye on because flash flooding and then it's going to evolve into river flooding potentially too.
Sure. First warned weather after the latest updates as this situation
Definitely.
develops. Thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, the Loggers looking to make it 3 straight wins at the Lumberyard. Plus, one of West Salem's best will get to live out her dream at the next level. Rob is up next.
News 8 Now Sports is brought to you by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, with 6 locations of fun.
It's the summer sale at Home Furniture. Everything is on sale. Get up to 30% off regular prices. This Leslie sofa is just $9.99, and this Spindrift dining set is $12.99. Get savings throughout the showroom during the summer sale at Home Furniture.
Hi, I'm Brody from Great River Harley Davidson. If you haven't been in this year, consider this your invitation to stop by. We'll be grilling out food, have special prizes for pre-registered guests, and test rides on the all-new Street Glide, Road Glide, and other 2024 models. Whether it's your first time on a bike or you've been riding for years, I want to invite you to stop into Great River Harley Davidson.
Get mega savings on Mega Fresh Produce this Thursday through Sunday during Hy-Vee's Mega Produce Sale. Basket and bushel strawberries, just $1.49 a pound when you buy a 2-pound pack. Red grapes, just 99 cents a pound. Candy cantaloupe, just $1.49 each. Plus, over 100 additional produce items on sale. If you're picky about produce and delighted by deals, you won't want to miss the Mega Produce Sale this Thursday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Senator Baldwin says I'm not from Wisconsin. But this was my childhood home. Graduated East High. Became a Badger in '86, where I've had my company for over 20 years.
And this is where we live. It's our family home.
I'm a 4th-generation Wisconsinite. It made me who I am. If Senator Baldwin's not going to be honest with you about where I'm from, what makes you think she'll be honest with you about anything? I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Right now at Home World Rugs, get 10% off Area Rug sale prices. Choose from many different shapes, sizes, and patterns with Area Rug experts in every showroom to help you find the perfect rug. 10% off Area Rugs going on now at Home World Rugs.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
It's night 3 for our newest member of the team, Jacob. He's joining me right now. We'll start with one of the area's best. West Salem's Megan Johnson has been an absolute force in multiple sports so far during her high school career. Even though she still has 1 year left with the Panthers, Johnson already knows where she'll be headed when her next chapter begins. She's not going too far. The West Salem standout committing to Winona State to pursue her basketball career. And what a run it's been so far with the Panthers. Johnson leading her squad to back-to-back state tournament appearances and she'll have one more chance to do it next year during her senior year. But Johnson making the announcement on her social media page today. She says it's always been a dream to play college ball, and now that dream is a full-blown reality for the future Warrior.
All right, how about some baseball? Loggers in action tonight, hosting the Waterloo Bucks, down 3 in the third, but 2 men on. Luke Davis lines one into right field. 2 Loggers come in to score. That makes it just a 1-run game. Then the very next batter, Luke Anderson, steps in, and he's going to take a trip around the bases. A deep fly to left field for a 2-run home run. Loggers in front, and La Crosse wouldn't look back as they go on to win 12-8.
All right, just want to make sure we're all in frame here. There we go.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow.
Well, time sure does fly, especially when you're having fun and doing what you love. And these last 2 years have been great, but tonight is my final night here at KBT. First and foremost, before I say anything, I want to thank the viewers. You made this place feel like home. You made a New Yorker feel at home for the last 2 years, and that's tough to do. But I'll be heading out west. My girlfriend's been waiting for a long time. She's allowed me to live my dream for a lot longer than I thought she would. It's been a blast, and it's really hard to move a California girl away from California. So I'll be heading out west. Not sure what I'm going to be doing yet. I want to teach this job. I want to, you know, kind of teach the fresh batch of young broadcasters. And
next generation.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the plan. But the parents, the coaches, the athletes, first and foremost, you guys have been great. And my passion has always been high school sports, you know, covering the Packers, the Vikings. It's cool, but my passion since day one has been putting a spotlight on the athletes that we cover at the high school level. And I think, I hope I've conveyed that over the last 2 years. That's been my dream since I started. And when I grew up playing high school sports, we didn't have the news at our games because I grew up in a big market. But just seeing the passion from not just from the athletes, but the parents involved, it's been more than I ever could have asked for. So I got to see my best friend's baby grow up the last 2 years. Yeah. That's been great. And I was handed some big shoes to fill. Ken was a huge help in this whole process, and he's been here along the way for the last 2 years. And I do feel like I'm leaving it in great hands. Cade has been great the last 2 years, and our newest member, Jacob. Yeah. I'm proud to introduce him to our viewers. He's going to do great things here, and it's been fun.
Yeah. I think you've accomplished a lot, and like you mentioned, the hard work that everyone in the sports department puts together, it does mean a lot to those athletes and their parents. It sure does. Always keep that in mind with wherever you're going. But I know you gave me a little shout out. I really do appreciate that, and it was a tough one, right? Going from sports to news, I wanted somebody who was going to take up the mantle and keep the local storytelling going strong, and you absolutely did that to a T. And I made a good friend along the way. Absolutely. So it's been a fantastic 2 years, Rob. We're going to miss the heck out of you.
You're going to do great, and whenever your next journey takes you.
And I'll be here a lot, too. Like I said, my best friend's here. This place has absolutely felt like home. I'm not just saying that. It really was home for the last 2 years, and I'll be back for sure.
You said big shoes to fill from him. I got some big shoes to fill. I got to bring that energy. That Rob Schiff energy is coming. More of it's coming. So
he's going to do great. I believe that for sure.
Rob, we love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Best of luck. Okay, we'll take another look at your forecast right after this.
Ashley's Stars and Stripes mattress sale is going on now. Save up to $500 on select mattresses. Plus, pay 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase on all in-store purchases. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
Wow. Forest berry fudge is amazing. This is melting in my mouth.
Dill pickle? Whoa, that's actually good.
Holy fudge. This is the best thing ever.
Expressions brought to you by Valley Fudge and Candy. Find us in Coon Valley, Wisconsin, or order online today.
These progressive lefties are really messing up our country with all their crazy ideas.
Yeah, open borders, giving illegals cash.
How about defunding the police and going soft on criminals?
Or letting boys play in girls' sports.
Look at all their crazy spending. They're bankrupting our country, driving up the costs of everything, including our beer.
Yeah, Baldwin, Biden, and these wackadoodles need to go. I would even wish them a Wisconsin goodbye.
I'm Eric Hovde. I definitely approve these guys' message.
The feet have a really big impact on how the rest of the body moves. The knees, the hips, the lower back especially. If the foot isn't properly aligned, all of these joints are going to function incorrectly. That results in a lot of muscle tension and chronic pain. What I really like about the Good Feet system is that the right arch supports can put the foot in its proper alignment, so all the joints up the rest of the body will be aligned properly as well. And when the body's aligned, we can reduce the risk of injury and chronic pain.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if Arch Supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Now, get up to $7,400 in total savings on a 2024 Ford F-150 XLT. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
Ashley Stars and Stripes mattress sale is going on now. Don't miss these mattress hot buys, now only $7.99. And get a free adjustable base upgrade with an Align by Ashley Sleep mattress purchase. Only at Ashley. Shop more deals in-store and online.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
The Grounded Patio Cafe is hosting its 3rd annual Pride on the Patio.
The event featured performances from local musicians and a booth from the All Glazed Up Art Studio. The Center Seven Rivers LGBTQ Connection also offered information on how you can get more involved in celebrating Pride Month.
One local artist explained the importance of everyone coming together to celebrate Pride.
I believe it's really important for us to show our support in the community. You know, we're all in this together, really. We're all better working together and being together.
All Glazed Up also offered complimentary face painting. Yeah, lots of fun. Okay. A final look at your forecast is next.
Stories are told on our Instagram at WKBT News 8. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
At By Goff and Rohde, we know reputation is important, and it can affect your case's outcome. If you want your case to be taken seriously, you need lawyers who are taken seriously. By Goff and Rohde, serious injuries need serious lawyers.
Sit on this, sit on that, sit on this, hey, sit on that, sit on this. Sit on that.
King Furniture has thousands of items in stock and ready for immediate delivery. You can see it, buy it, and enjoy your new furniture in your home today.
Sit on this. Sit on that.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I'm 82.
86.
90 years young.
Eric Hovde thinks people like us shouldn't be able to vote.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Son, I've served this country. I think I can handle a ballot.
What a jerk.
Eric Hovde, I'm fully aware of whom I'm voting for, and it won't be you.
At Union State Bank, we believe in empowering our young savers to dream big and achieve more. While the most important part of being a kid is being a kid, we encourage their parents to set them on a journey of financial success. The Junior Savings Account from Union State Bank is designed especially for kids up to age 18. A savings account for your kids is a crucial step in shaping their future and instilling valuable life skills. Take the next step and set your kids on the path towards a brighter and more secure financial future. Union State Bank, where customers and community come first. Member FDIC.
Is your personal injury lawyer trying to sell you a settlement that you don't think is fair? You need a lawyer who won't settle your case just to move on to the next one. Get the full compensation you deserve. Get By Goff and Rohde.
All right, that's that complex that's beginning to approach, and as you notice, it's going more west to east, so some of those areas are going to get trained over with some very heavy rainfall. That is approaching the areas. That's what we're going to see overnight. Right now, it's not quite just to the west, but it is getting close to Preston, and then eventually there'll be more coming later tomorrow too. So definitely pay attention to all the flooding.
We will.
We made the New Yorker a cheesehead.
We did.
Bunch of cheesehead.
The big cheese is
Not
leaving
against the Jets, though. Not against the Jets.
Have a good night, everyone.